The Royal London One Day Cup match between Worcestershire and Derbyshire at New Road ended as a no result after a heavy shower took the players off, with the visitors in a very hopeful position of making it 3 wins from 3. Wayne Madsen won the toss for the visitors and decided to field first, and Tom Taylor struck with his 6th ball, a bit of extra bouncing the back of Richard Oliver, who was caught in the gully by Madsen. The pitch appeared to be a little spongy and both Derbyshire openers were getting some lift that Daryl Mitchell played well as he made 26 in a power play which brought his side 46 runs. Mitchell was out right at the end of it, helping a leg side ball from Taylor to Gareth Cross behind the stumps. Tom Fell then drove an in-swinger from Mark Footit to Marcus North at mid-off to go for 23 at 64 for 3. That became 73 for 4 in the 22nd over, as Alexei Kavesi was also caught on the drive, Billy Godleman with the catch this time at mid-on off Alex Hughes. Derbyshire have made a sensational start to this season's Royal London One Day Cup competition with 2 thumping wins, and they were on top again, only to be held up by one of their former players in the form of Ross Whiteley. He struck a maiden list day 50 in the win over Northamptonshire at the weekend, and he was on his way to another one with these maximums off David Wainwright and Hughes. These two helped the home side reach a score of 125 for 4 after 30 overs, and Whiteley was forming a profitable partnership with Tom Kohler-Cadmore, who played in a promising fashion as this pair put on 114 runs together in 18 overs. A thick outside edge off Footit took Kohler-Cadmore to his maiden one-day half-century in his 4th innings. He'd used up 65 balls and that was his 5th 4, his last 2 coming off successive deliveries in an over which cost 14 runs. Worcestershire were now pushing on, and Whiteley showed his former employers what they were missing by completing his 2nd successive 50 off his 43rd ball. He'd hit 5 4s and nosed 2 6s as his side threatened a strong finish to an innings which had not begun too well. But as it turned out, the end was not too clever either. Taylor got the all-important breakthrough as Whiteley on 53 skewed a hit out to Scott Elston. Taylor was then replaced by Hughes, who bowled Kohler-Cadmore for 71 after 32 runs had come off 4 overs with Ben Cox. Joe Leach was out in the next over, he being a little slow to set off for his 2nd run. Elston supplied the throw which saw Leach run out for 7 at 229 for 7 with 5 overs of the innings remaining. Cox provided a handy cameo, bringing up the 250 in the 47th over with successive boundaries off Footit, who then watched the young keeper belt him with power to Wainwright at point as Cox departed on 39 made from 24 balls. Footit bagged figures of 5 for 59 in the win over Leicestershire last weekend, and he had a 3rd here in his last over, Shaikh Chowdhury top-edging a pull back to the bowler, who then claimed his 9th wicket of the tournament by bowling Charlie Morris for a duck. With 1 over unused, Worcestershire were all out for 261, Footit taking 4 for 65 and Taylor 3 for 48. Wes Durston and Godleman then made a bright start to the reply, taking 37 runs off the opening 7.4 overs, only for a heavy shower to move over the ground, which took the players off. And alas, they didn't return, which meant that this became the first game in this competition to be ruined by the weather. They were just 14 balls away from a result, and so both sides took 1 point. In fact, Derbyshire would have needed only 6 more runs from those deliveries. They now drop down to 2nd place in Group A, with Worcestershire a place beneath them. Next up for them is a trip to Headingley next Thursday, while Derbyshire play at home under lights on the same day against Lancashire.